Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm currently sat under a very wet and rainy tree, but I thought I would check in with you. Starting the vlog slightly differently than we usually do. It is a Tuesday evening. I'm out on my evening walk. It is autumnal maybe, but just a bit late summery. The rain has kicked in. It is really feeling really quite, I'm in a jumper, I'm in a jacket, like it's definitely a bit chilly, but I'm actually really appreciating it. I've just been listening to a audiobook, the Saturn Returns audiobook by Kagi Dunlop, which I'm really enjoying. I've dived into that this week and I'm really enjoying that. But yeah, I thought I'd pop on and start the vlog. I'll be honest, I don't have a whole lot planned for this week. It's a very slow and chilled week. I tend to like sync my schedule with my cycle, and I'm in my menstrual phase at the moment, so I tend to keep this week really chilled, really quiet. So it's not much on the cards. It is Jake's birthday this weekend and we are out of London. I feel like we're out of London most weekends at the moment, but we're out of London this weekend, which is really nice. So I'm gonna try and bring you along, but sometimes with the best intentions it never happens, because I also just really love being present in those moments. But I just thought I could take you along for a very slow, a very chilled week. Next week is so busy in terms of I am filming lots of new classes. I have a photo shoot next week. I have a friend coming. Next week's really busy, so I'm gonna kind of enjoy the downtime of this week. And I actually spent today at my laptop planning a very exciting new series for Soulteller, which again, I'm not going to mention that much about it, but should hopefully be launching at the end of the month, and I'm really excited about it. It's something I've been actually thinking about for a little while, and then I actually had a member request it and it just feels right at the moment, so I'm very excited about that. With that being said, I will stop nattering away and continue on with my walk. You know, I might be really controversial in this, but I genuinely do, in all of my heart, believe that England is one of the most, even just the UK is one of the most beautiful countries. Like, even on a gloomy day like this, the nature, honestly, you just feel so, this sounds so crazy, but it just feels like there's so much spirit within the land, and it's just perfectly grounds you. I know everyone loves to complain that it's rainy and grey and it's horrible, but I'm at that level of appreciation where, you know what, it's gorgeous. There is truly nothing like a helicopter in London. No, there is truly nothing like just nature in the Guys, happy Thursday. I have been the world's worst vlogger this week, so I just thought, you know what, I would sit down and we do a bit of a get ready with me. As I said, it's now Thursday. I have had a relatively slow morning. I did a yoga practice. I had a good old clean of our flat, which is so boring. Made sure my YouTube upload was done, this, that and the other. We are away for the weekend. We leave tomorrow, so I've done a bit of an everything shower. I've washed my hair. I'm looking very fresh, but I just thought I would get myself marginally ready because we are going out for dinner this evening, and also it's just nice to be ready for the day. Nothing too crazy, but I just thought that we could sit down and have a good old chat. I must say, it is very grey outside and it is absolutely tipping it down as well, which I'm quite grateful for. It's made for quite a cozy day, which is just really lovely. I'm really enjoying that. I also spent some time this morning putting together the autumn seasonal selection classes for Soulteller. I haven't made them live yet because honestly it feels a little bit too soon. September very much still feels like late summer energy, so I'm trying my best to, I think that's something that I actually really do try and do quite successfully, is try not to rush through the year and try not to rush through the seasons. I've got my makeup back here, but trying not to rush through the year and trying not to rush through the seasons as well, because I feel like that can be really, really tempting to try and like rush your way through it. But I'm really enjoying the slightly more just late summer energy. As I said, it is really raining today, but it's not. Some days are a bit colder, some days aren't. I actually got caught in a like rain shower, basically moment of absolutely tipping it down on my walk yesterday, and I sheltered under like a really big tree, and it was actually really lovely. So I'm trying my best to find gratitude for even the things that I know that quite often we like to rush through, like the end of summer, because everyone gets so excited for autumn, or the end of any season. Like we get so excited for what's next because we feel a little bit like bored of the everyday, which I completely understand. But I do feel like actually, you know what, if you can find a little bit of appreciation for the season you're in, it's only going to create more daily gratitude. So yeah, that is currently where I am seasonally feeling. I have, however, put together the classes for Soul Shower all ready for when we basically move into feeling a little bit more autumnal. I might wait, I mean definitely for before the autumn equinox, so I'm gonna give it another week. We're at the, I think, 12th now, so give it another week and then the autumn classes can go up. That does remind me, is I have some, sorry, looking for things in my makeup bag, I have some autumn equinox ritual planning that I need to do probably next week at some point, or maybe even this weekend, because I need to get that all filmed at some point next week. Gosh, next week is going to be a really busy week, so I'm glad that this week's vlog is a little bit more chilled. But to be honest, more than anything this week, what I've really been sitting with and thinking about is what they call like liminal spaces, and what we talk about when we think about like the in-between moments, and not quite being where you want to go, but not quite being where you once were. And I feel like, I don't know if I'm the only one in this, I find this such a hard space to be in, because I'm usually someone who has a plan, who has a vision, who knows exactly what it is that she wants. So being in these sort of liminal spaces can feel really, if you're anything like me, a little bit like stagnant and a little bit scary at times, because you're like, I'm not quite who I was, I'm not quite who I'm becoming yet, and I'm sort of in this in-between stage. And one thing that I have to keep reminding myself is, first of all, slow down, give yourself time, and know that like you need time and it doesn't need to be rushed. But also like the in-between space is also really sacred, and this is where like the work happens. And I think that's something that I keep reminding myself as well. I actually did a meditation this morning after my yoga practice, and it was Rebecca Campbell's Connect to Your Spirit Guides meditation, which I always do meditations to connect to my guides, but over the past, I'd say, couple of weeks, months, it's almost time for dinner for the cats if you can hear them chatting away, but over the past sort of weeks and months, I've definitely felt like a little bit disconnected from that practice, definitely from my meditation practice, which is often something I don't really mention here, is whether or not I'm disconnected from my practices, but definitely have been feeling a little bit disconnected from my meditation practice, a lot disconnected. So I just thought that could be a really nice guided one to get me back into it, and it was honestly such a good one. It's really funny, something that keeps coming up symbolism wise for me at the moment is, and we see all the time on my walks given where we live, is this like spirit guide and animal of the deer. Sorry guys, Jake came in and interrupted me whilst I was chatting to you, so I'm looking a little bit more ready than I was. I just did my like everyday makeup, so nothing particularly exciting. Saying that, I don't tend to wear this much makeup every day, so it's not my everyday makeup, but very chilled, little wash of eyeshadow, nothing too crazy. But yes, what were we chatting about? We were chatting about liminal spaces, that in-between space, and autumn. One thing I will say is I have got my autumn vision board like thriving and up and running. This is something I tend to do for most seasons, but this one Autumn is just my favorite time of year. I cannot lie, it's something I really missed when we didn't live here. It's just one of my favorite times, so I'm very excited about that. So my current, it's coastal grandmother autumn, because that is very much my vibe, but I'm hoping you can see. Okay, here we go. It's just cozy, it's warm, it's long walks. There's no yoga in there, but we know I'm going to be doing loads of yoga and witchy bits and bobs. Just love it. And that's also actually my other favourite reason that autumn's my favourite time of year, is because it's just the season of the witch, isn't it? Which it allows my witchy side just to fully bloom and blossom. Very excited about that. Lots of plans in that as well. But yeah, that is kind of where I'm at the moment. One thing I did want to chat to you about before I finish getting ready and whatnot is this perfume. I was literally thinking the other day I needed to tell someone about this perfume. Now, I am a bit obsessed with scents. I just love scents. I love candles, I love incense, I love anything that's smelly. I love it. I think that's my Taurus rising, is I just love all the senses being filled is one of my favorite things. And this is just everything. It is Burberry Goddess perfume, and it smells like lavender and vanilla. I'd love to say I think it smells like honey in there. I don't actually think that's a note in there, but those are my three favorite scents: is lavender, vanilla, and honey. And this is definitely lavender, and like a rich, warm, not sticky, but like rich, warm, like almost like a hug, embrace of vanilla. And this is, I don't hear anyone talking about this. I know that like I have maybe a bit of an eclectic taste in perfumes, but I love, like, I didn't used to love vanilla, and then if you've been watching my vlogs for a while, I went through and all of a sudden I feel like my brain developed and I love vanilla. And this has been for probably at least 6 weeks now. This has been my absolute favorite perfume. I've used it every day. It's my everyday scent, but also it's everyday but enough that if I want to wear it out, it's also gorgeous. And I just love the lavender and the vanilla. It feels like the sweetness of the vanilla, the lavender feels witchy. It feels like goddessy. I understand why they've called it goddess perfume, because it feels like that with the lavender and the vanilla. It's so rich. But I am obsessed with this. I wear it every day. So if you want to know what I smell like, this is ideally what I smell like most days, if I can help it, if I remember to put it on, which I do most days, to be fair. Honestly, just so good. So nice. So yeah, so that is me ready for the evening, afternoon / evening. My plan now is I am going to sit and chug along with just a little bit more work, and then we have a dinner reservation at 7, so I've got a couple of hours where I can chug along. I might make a pot of tea and just enjoy it being quite cozy. My hair is currently wildly curly as I've just finished doing it, but that's beginning to all settle down. I'm hoping the rain is not going to ruin the fact that I've just done my hair, but we were in dire need. That's the reason I didn't check in with you this morning, because we were in dire need of a hair wash and just a hair freshen up. So yeah, that is, I'm feeling much better than I was earlier. I half think I should have checked in with you guys earlier so you could have seen the absolute glow up. But anyway, with that being said, let's chug along with just a few laptopy bits. I might even stop and read. Actually, oh my goodness, I showed you guys I was reading The Goddess Path by Christy Gallagher. I don't know if I've mentioned this before on here. Really fantastic. I have actually been working. You know what? I'm going to sit down with a cup of tea and chat about this with you. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of me in this spot. So yeah. As I was saying earlier, I have just started reading, actually not just started, a good way through this book, which is The Goddess Path by Kirsty Gallagher, which is a really lovely like introductory book to working with the goddesses. I have been working with sort of like goddess energy for quite a few years now, and it's always something that I'd really love to come back to, and it was something that I had come back to more recently, and then that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to buy this book and just see what fresh perspectives are in there. It is a really, really lovely book. I think I'm going to add it to my reading list for Soul Channel members, but this is a really, really lovely like introductory book which I'm really loving. But it had me thinking, because I have recently, okay guys, I have gathered like my witchy overflow boxes here, and I have just begun to very quickly, because I only have about half an hour before we need to leave for dinner, but I've very quickly gathered some of the things that I am going to, I think, include on this altar space. I'm very excited about this. One thing I was actually thinking about is, usually when we lived in Dubai and I did this, I had a little bit more space first of all, which is why I haven't really spoken about this in this flat as much, because I don't have so much space, but we're using the windowsill. When I used to do this, I used to love putting tarot cards on my altar space, just like symbolically more than anything else. But for that, I used to use my Rider-Waite tarot deck, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that precious over it. The Rider-Waite deck is like the original deck that people learn the tarot on quite often. I wasn't that precious over mine. I know a lot of tarot readers are very precious over theirs, but I didn't mind if I accidentally misplaced a card in that, because I had other decks that I connected with more deeply, if I'm honest. So yeah, saying that, because of this, my Rider-Waite deck didn't seem to make the move, which I should probably purchase anyway. I just feel like it's something I should have, but didn't make the move. So I'm now thinking, what shall I include on this altar space? And I was like, oh, I don't want to pull apart any of my tarot decks. And I remembered I have this Goddess Oracle, so I've actually pulled out the Hecate card, and I'm going to put this kind of at like the center point of the altar, which I'm very excited about. She is honestly so gorgeous within this deck. I do have my eye on a couple of goddess decks at the moment, if I'm honest, but this deck is gorgeous. She is just so gorgeous in this deck. And I just love, simplify your thoughts, give your spell space. Not everything needs to be done right now. That is the message that I need more than anything else right now, is that. So that is definitely going to be the center point. She also is symbolized by a key as well. I do have a key necklace that I might bring out, or I'll find an old key and place it there. But that's the first thing. The other ways in which Hecate is symbolized is through candles. So I have got my candlesticks out, and I think I'm going to place them probably in and around the card of her. And then other things that basically like invoke the goddess and help you to connect with the goddess are always things that either they've taken liking to or very symbolic of them. Hecate loves honey and lavender, which is why she's a gal after my own heart. It's why we've been working together already for quite a little while, and why we will be continuing to work together probably forever, because I just adore her. Lavender she loves. I am thinking about maybe after the weekend wrapping these in some honey, like dipping them in honey and then rolling them in lavender to create a really beautiful even more Hecate inspired candle, but not now, for another time. So I'm going to place all of these over there as well. Then I'm thinking crystal wise what I want to use. I always tend to have crystals on my altar space, whether it's a goddess altar space or just like a general altar space for my spiritual practice. The crystal I'm definitely using is going to be this clear quartz. I'm debating my Spirit Aura amethyst quartz. The only reason is that this shouldn't really be exposed to sunlight, so I don't think I'm going to, just because my altar is in a window. But I do have a little mini one that I can place over there, and I think I have some more amethyst elsewhere which I can place, which is really nice. Other things to connect with the goddess of Hecate is incense, and I actually have a really lovely incense in here that I kind of keep for special occasions. It's actually a very expensive incense. I'm sure I put it in a vlog years ago, and I still haven't worked my way through it, but it is this really gorgeous, it smells of like oud. Reminds me a lot of our time in the Middle East, but this incense, which smells absolutely gorgeous, very strong but very lovely, and that is I think I'm going to place some of that also on my altar space. So let's have a little play with organising this. This is not going to be by any means the finished product, but I just thought I could begin to put things together for it. Okay, perfect. Now that this is clean, I can begin to... I'm really debating because obviously I have these candlesticks, but I also have these pillar candles, and I'm wondering which ones to use. Can't decide. I'll circle back, see how they both look, and then I'll decide. I've also decided to add another amethyst, and then I've got a moonstone here, and this one is connected to the moon. I can't actually remember the name of it. It is a really lovely, beautiful meditation stone though. I love the energy of this one. So I'm also going to pop those on. Okay, so you can't probably see this just yet. I will show it to you. Maybe when it's a bit darker later and I can light the candles and show it to you properly, but I've kind of set it up and it's looking all right. I'm just thinking about how I want to place the incense. I used to have an incense holder specifically, so I might have to wait on the incense. So I don't want to use my big main incense holder because it just takes up a lot of space. But yes, that is currently set up. I've just realised we're going away for the weekend and we have a cat sitter coming, and she's probably going to think I'm nuts at my altar space, but hey ho, I am a bit nuts, so it doesn't really matter. But that's looking gorgeous. I'm going to show it to you like from above and you can get a little view of it. Outside of our window is so not lovely, but you know what, sometimes I feel like we just need the reality of things. But I've got, can we see her? I've got her here surrounded by all her favourite crystals. Pillar candles is what I went for. Lavender's here. I will also place some incense. I'm going to do some sort of honey offering, maybe like a little mini jar of honey or something on there could work really, really well actually. But that is my current very quick altar setup. I wouldn't say that this is quite done yet, but I've got most of the things there. I might add like a little mini pot of honey or something like that. There's a few things I want to add, but for the time being it is finished, and the next time I come to my meditation practice I will then open the energy to the space, and that will then, I feel like it's a fully functioning sacred space. At the moment it's just things placed in a area. But with that being said, we have got dinner reservations, so I'm gonna have a little tidy up, put some stuff away, and then we're gonna get going. Hello guys, happy Friday. Jake is just putting petrol in the car because we are on our way out of London. It is his birthday. We have had a very lovely, very chilled birthday breakfast morning, and we are headed to where he's from, his home. We've vlogged there before. We have honestly spent so much time out of London recently, which I think we've definitely needed it. But again, we're really looking forward to it. We are really looking forward to just a bit of a weekend break. Plans are for the weekend, I think we are going to do a little birthday tarot reading for him. He loves all things tarot and Reiki and this, that and the other. He literally goes into his work, Jake's a lawyer for anyone who doesn't know, and tells them that his girlfriend's a witch, which I mean isn't untrue, but he loves it to say the least. So I think we're gonna do that. I did promise him a birthday Reiki session as well, so that'll probably be this evening maybe. I think we've got a few hours this afternoon to ourselves so I can give him his birthday Reiki session, and then we are honestly just a very chilled weekend, lots of walks. We are playing paddle tomorrow. I did say I'd show you my outfit because that's the only exciting thing about it, because I am not particularly sporty inclined other than yoga, like singular sports. But anyway, I do have a very cute outfit. It's definitely an all the gear, no idea kind of situation. But yeah, that is kind of the rundown for a very chilled weekend, which I think is really needed. Gosh, chaos. I think is really needed because next week is going to be absolutely hectic. However, I have just checked the weather and I have photo shoot with my very lovely, really good friend and also photographer, Shok, who I don't know if we've met on here before. You will be meeting her next week. And it was meant to be like partly cloudy and a little bit of sun, and I've just seen the weather and it is now sunny, which is very exciting. So all things falling into place. With that being said, my arm's beginning to hurt, so we are going to just enjoy the drive out to London. We've got about an hour and a half to natter away, which we always do. It is a fair bit later. We are now in Kent. It is actually like the most glorious sunny evening slash afternoon, and I have snuck away for actually a little bit longer than I kind of said, but I've come down to the bottom of Jake's garden to just do a little bit of yoga. And it's really funny coming out here because this is actually the spot where I taught my first ever yoga class, like my practice class to just like friends and family to just kind of get into the groove of things. And coming back here all these years later, it's gorgeous, it's stunning, look at that view, it's just really nice, and actually one of my favorite places to practice probably in the world. It's just so lovely out here, so really enjoying being out here. But I think I'm gonna get in a little yoga practice and then I might stop and do some journaling at the end. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is the first morning where it feels like properly quite chilly, and I first of all am loving it, but I am in like my cozy cashmere jumper, my coat's over my shoulders, I've got socks and Birkenstocks on, and there is a little bench in the garden down here that I am heading down for my morning journaling and tarot card pull before Jake wakes up. This is my favorite thing to do when I am like away for the weekend or away with family and I just want a few moments to myself, which is really important. This is my tactic. But Jake's not a morning person, so it's quite easy to make sure I'm up before him to give myself some time. It is so glorious this morning. Oh my goodness. This just fills me up. And this is my spot for the morning. Those are Jake's mum's chickens, adore them. They all have names, just very sweet. But that bench in there is gonna be my spot for the morning. Honestly, when people ask me what my dream is, this spot is my dream. This is my spot. She's got her orangery there. It's just gorgeous down here. Now, if this does not get you feeling very autumnal, there's more down there. I don't know what will. That is probably the biggest pumpkin I've ever seen in my entire life. My goodness. Hello guys, we have just popped out on a very quick errand for Jake, and I am sat in the car because we couldn't find a parking space. But I was obviously reading this book this morning, and I was also reading it over my very quick breakfast, and I do just have to say that I know I've said this book is incredible. It is honestly so beautiful. The descriptions of the like Gaelic and Celtic like coastlines and countryside is just gorgeous. It really like takes you on, like it really does feel like you're there. But also, even on top of that, like obviously the descriptions and the writing is beautiful, but the chapter I started reading this morning was really, it's funny, we were speaking about liminal spaces and the in-between spaces, and I've just got to that chapter in this book as well, and it was just so beautiful. So I thought I'd read you a little bit of it because I just loved it. So, where the meadow merges into the forest, you stand in the margins of what is behind you and look across the threshold into the future. The brink of possibilities. Will you cross? Edges are transitional places. They're also the best places from which to create something new. Ecologists call this the edge effect. At the convergence where contrasting ecological systems meet and mingle, life blooms. A life of diverse and various, unexpected and abundant, unique spaces. The shore is the greatest edge of them all. Sometimes it seems gentle on a still summer day. When the sun warms, the shallows of the soft sand cradle you, but you must be able to face the storm. I just think the writing is so gorgeous, and I'm enjoying reading this just every moment I'm reading it. I feel like I'm going over pages a lot because I keep picking it up and putting it down, but I actually love it, and that's something that I actually recommend with a lot of non-fiction books and like self-development books. I wouldn't call this necessarily a self-development book, this is an in-between, but sometimes the more you read it, the more it resonates. I have some books that I've read so many times and I see something different about them every time. So yes, loving this book. I have a feeling Jake will be back in a minute, so I'm going to continue and I will catch up with you guys later. Just checking in between, just dating errands, but I promised I'd show you guys my outfit. We are going to play paddle for Jake's birthday. Never played paddle in my life. He used to play tennis as a child a little bit, but I succumbed to the tennis skirt trend, and this is probably the one and only outing that it's getting when it's actually like a tennis related activity. So I thought I'd show you. I am wearing, top is Tala, square neck, and then the skirt is Varley, and I absolutely love it. I think the blue is so pretty, and then Jake got me this Varley jumper for my birthday, so in theory it could be one like that, which would be very cute. However, it is too cold. So in reality, it is going to be worn on, and probably with a coat as well. And I will just chuck my hair up in a ponytail. That's quite comfy. And then, yeah, my hair's looking a little bit wild, but this is all the gear, and most definitely, no idea. I think I said this already, but that line in the Princess Diaries where she's like, I'm yoga doing, horse riding, rock climbing kind of gal. That is me. I'm not a ball sport kind of gal. I could just about stomach badminton as a child. Did tennis, didn't love it. So it's going to be quite an entertaining afternoon, to say the least. Hello guys, sorry I've got a bit of a bite here, it's annoying me, but I have just finished a very quick Pilates workout. The sun is glorious but very much in my eyes, but I've just finished a very quick Pilates workout. We did go and play paddle. I did retire after 10 minutes because to say that I am not overly gifted in the area of ball sports would be an understatement, but I actually brought my Kindle because I had a feeling that would be the case, so I was very happily reading. I'm on the Assassin's Blade of the Throne of Glass series. So I was very happily just reading that, and they had a really good time. Jake is actually really good at paddle. His first time playing, he's just so good. Me on the other hand, I said it, I'm a yoga doing, Pilates, horse riding kind of gal. It was just not my forte. So I came down to do just a quick 20-minute Pilates. So I felt like I had my movement in as well. I feel like I rarely mention this, but I am actually a qualified Pilates instructor as well as yoga. I have a lot of heart in like the energetics and the like more soul practices that yoga brings, but I love Pilates and I feel like it really balances the mind, body, soul, right? Where you've got the body going with Pilates and then yoga does the mind, soul is all of our spiritual practices. So I also love that. So it was really nice to just get that done. I feel like I should probably talk about it more because it is something that I do really love, especially as it's taken me a little while to find my groove and my style with it, but I do just really love it. And that's why I post those classes on Soul Shower and things like that. But anyway, I am going to pack myself up down here. We are actually headed out for dinner this evening, which will be really nice. I've brought a summer dress, which I think is going to be the last weekend it can be worn. Honestly, the sun though is lovely, but I thought I'd pop on a nice summer dress, my cozy cardigan for Jake's birthday dinner, and then to be honest, it's just a very chilled week. Hello guys, editing Amara here. I just popped on and realised I didn't actually end the vlog. Just got sucked into being in the moment and being present, which I always would say is the best thing to do, but I just thought I'd pop on and finish this vlog. It will have been up a little bit later, but I hope no one minds. I really hope you enjoyed spending a very slow, chilled week with me and just all the chats. If you did, please comment below, let me know. But otherwise, I will see you in next week's vlog. I'm sending you so much love and we will catch up very soon.